and built a prototype. Did it work? Yes, it did work, but it didn't pull enough power to work. So let's go like that, like that, like that, and then it would jump like that, like this, like that, like that. So it'd be a spiral graph. That was there. Now, and you have that. All right, this is what it looked like that. It was thinner than this, like a cube. What I did was I bored a hole. This was all made, okay, on the inside of the box. This is what it had. On the very bottom plate. So if you want to monkey around with it yourself, you can. I don't care. I'm not worried about it. Okay. So what you did is on the bottom part here, that was a solar panel, 100-watt solar panel. Was on the bottom, and what I did was on the inside of this box were mirrors. So there'd be a mirror here, a mirror on that wall, a mirror on this wall, a mirror on this wall, and a mirror on the top. Then what I did was I bored a hole at a 22.5-degree angle, and I put in a high-density flashlight in there. The high-density flashlight was a 1.5-volt battery was powering the flashlight. So I theorized, well, what happened is if I tone down on the light, in other words, the light spectrum would not be like this, it would be pinpointed. My theory is the light would hit this wall, it would bounce off and hit back on this wall, forth, back and forth, and then up and down and up and down. This is why you go at a 22.5-degree angle, so that way you get the bounce ratio, right? You wouldn't want to do 45-degree angle because then it would be like that and then like that. No, it'd be more like da-da-da-da-da-da. But it'd be instantaneous because it'd be the speed of light. So while the light is dancing around in here, inside the box, it would be light tight and it would be airtight. Why is that important? You don't want any light escaping through the creases. Well, it was very light tight. It was as airtight as I could get it, because when you have moisture, you don't want water particles interfering with the bounce of the light. So it's really important to do that. So what happened was I had two leads right here that came off the solar panel from the box going to an ohm meter, right? So when I turned this on, I had the ohm meter hooked up to see if I was getting a charge. I sure the hell was. It worked. It did work. But it did not give enough of a charge to make a difference. So what I got to thinking about later is that if I change the design, it should work. But I don't know that for a fact. If you want to do it yourself, you can. But I'm not worried about you stealing any idea. I'm all about, free information. I'm all about it. They're like, oh, well, that's dumb. Well, why is it dumb? How's it dumb? Really? Go make $5 billion. Go ahead and do that. But you better buy me a cheeseburger. I'll see you in court. Okay. So what would happen is, if you do your mind, if you use your math, if that was able to pull that sort of wattage or a voltage, or let's see, voltage times wattage is amperage. Okay. So what you would do is, if this made this panel work, the thing with the solar panels, it only works like 24%. My idea is, what if you could make your solar panel work 100% or 90%? You could make it work 100% if you really put your mind to it. Even the best industry right now will tell you all day long, well, a solar panel is 24-25% effective at the highest. Well, that's because of the pi time. The pi time of the sun is between 11 and 1 p.m., 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., because that's when the sun is like this. Sure, they have the panels that follow the sun, but that's, so what? I'm talking about something that you use in the dark. Who cares? So what would happen is you would essentially, it would be perpetual power. You've heard of perpetual. Now, we'll tell you all day long, well, a solar panel is 24-25% effective at the highest. Well, that's because of the pi time. The pi time of the sun is between 11 and 1 p.m., 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., because that's when the sun is like this. Sure, they have the panels that follow the sun, but that's, so what? I'm talking about something that you use in the dark. Who cares? So what would happen is you would essentially, it would be perpetual power. You've heard of perpetual motion with the motors. People have done that before. They do it with magnetics. They do it with tension. This would be done with light. So what would happen is you would replicate this box and you put another box underneath it, and another box underneath it, another box underneath it. You'd have it 10 times. You'd have this lead powering this box, this lead powering this one powering this one, and the very last box, you'd have this lead coming back and feeding this light source. So in other words, when you turn it on, you'd wait 30 seconds and then you could turn it off because all of the light sources would be feeding themselves. Does that make sense? Try to imagine that. So essentially you'd have sitting in a suitcase. You could just in 30 seconds have instant power, but everything would be in succession and it would multiply your output. And what would be your starting point? 1.5 volts. That would break the law of physics. Yes, it would. If you got 1.5 volts going in and you had 5 volts coming out with nothing in between, you just broke the law of physics, because you can't put something in smaller and get more out of it. It doesn't work like that. But I think you can. I think you can through manipulation. But hey, who am I? I'm nobody. I'm just a guy. You know what I mean? I don't care.